Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. Yes, we are full scale on in the electionary period, and Peter Obi is beginning to voice out his true intent in these 2023 elections, and probably that's one of the reasons why the corrupt politicians are very wary of him and also selling a wrong narrative about him, so that the young Nigerian youth, will not vote for him. In the moment, you're going to get online or offline real time what is going on the grounds in the villages and suburbs about Peter Obi. Some places, not all, of course, a lot of persons are beginning to embrace him and his ideology. But this is what he told the Nigerian youth, both in Nsukka, in Enugu state, and in other places, where he mentioned the fate of corrupt politicians if eventually he gets in seat. But before we go into the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Let's start with what he told the students or the alma maters of Nsukka, UNN. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has enjoined Nigerians to vote incompetent persons who were mentally and physically prepared for the task of providing leadership for a sick nation such as ours. Obi made the appeal in an interactive session with students of the University of Nigeria Nsukka Business School in Enugu on Thursday. In a veiled reference to the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, Obi said in United States during election, they go for debate. Somebody once asked Barack Obama questions that are personal and he answered. But here in Nigeria, somebody wants to contest election. We don't know his real age. We don't know his name. We don't know the schools he attended. Nobody knows his real identity. My name is Peter Obi. I can say I went to CKC, went to the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, both the VC today, the DVC today. These are my schoolmates. We came into the university the same year and left the same year. The people I went to school, I can see them here today. My seniors and my juniors. How come we now have people who do not have classmates? This is very important. This is all about character, and people we can trust. The Labour Party candidate explained that an honest person does not pretend to be someone he is not, and is not afraid to tell people the truth about himself. Obi cited an example of the legal luminary and founder of Afe Babalola University, Ado Ekiti, whom he described as an upright Nigerian who isn't ashamed of his background. He said Ade Babalola once told me he never had the opportunity of going to a formal school. There's nothing wrong in that. There are so many people who have done well in life and never went to formal school. The country is sick and should not be handed over to a sick person. I am not saying that anyone is sick. Oh, we have been here for over 2 hours. We don't want people who can't stand for 30 minutes. If you said you will fight corruption, let's go to the road you have passed and see what is remaining there after you left. This year's election must be based on competence. This job requires physical and mental energy. It is not a retirement job. He didn't call names, but then if you look at the features of the cap, you know which head it will fit. But okay, let's find out really what the fate of corrupt politicians will be if eventually Peter Obi enters. Well, according to Peter Obi, the Labour Party's nominee for presidency has explained how, if elected, he plans to recover stolen money. Peter Obi revealed that rather than concentrating on recovering all of the stolen monies, he will probably concentrate on recovering parts of the funds from the corrupt public officials. According to Peter Obi, he will only ask individuals who have stolen public funds to restore a portion of what they have taken rather than all of it. Peter Obi continued by saying that similar strategy was used in Saudi Arabia and that it has shown to be quite effective, because the Saudi Arabian government was ultimately able to collect more money than they had anticipated. According to Peter Obi, it may be difficult to ask people who have been found guilty of stealing public funds to return all of it, because they must have used some of it. Instead, he plans to persuade them to return some of it. Now you now have an idea why a lot of corrupt politicians honestly, in all honesty, do not want Peter Obi to come in, because I've always known that there's more in the bag that Peter Obi is willing to reveal. Because yes, Nigeria is blessed with so many mineral resources. We have what it takes to be a giant nation, but we are borrowed to the point that generations and generations unborn are owing. Individual Nigerians are owing as a Nigerian averagely. If you want to calculate how much we are indebted to other nations and to other international monetary companies, that we have industries that we must have borrowed from. And now with this narrative, it clearly shows you that Peter Obi have every intention of starting up with some set of monies he will recover from stolen monies he will recover from corrupt politicians. It's only normal. We can't be looking for money when the monies are stacked in some people's houses, stacked in some companies, stacked in some hidden places, proxies here and there, and Nigerians are suffering. We can't go borrowing where we can easily get them. First is to stop the leakages from monies from corrupt politicians from seeping into their pockets. The next is to recover at least to a great degree, and that's one of the reasons why you see them not buying that idea of Peter Obi coming in. Now, this is the narrative they're selling to Nigerians offline and in suburbs, that Peter Obi is stingy, he's selfish, he's a kagom, he's a aradite. That the little chop I chop you get to see in the days before, you won't see it again. All those small chua small but here and there, you will not see. That Peter Obi will make everything dry and high. But that's not true. Prudency is not stinginess. Prudency is not greed. A country like Nigeria need a man prudent. People just think that prudence is a case of being stingy. No, it's a case of being accountable. Things you know that is not necessary, let it go. He's a prudent man. Honestly, Nigeria will be blessed to have such a man in Nigeria to rule or govern Nigeria as a whole. But unfortunately, Nigeria has become so fantastically corrupt that corruption is now a mainstream, is now in our system, that they now legalize, quote and unquote, they see corruption in a legal form, and it become a norm that sometimes you go to filling station to buy fuel, and the attendant expects you to leave your change as tip is by force. If you don't, if you remove your eyes from the pump dashboard, you'll be surprised they will tell you it is complete. You just see that even in our little spaces, you see persons always trying to play smart one, fast one on you, because corruption has been celebrated. Those who have been corrupt have done it and they have gone scot-free, technically speaking, especially if you're in the good books of any government that is ruling. And that shouldn't be. And now those who are benefiting from corruption do not want him to be, and that's why they're selling that narrative that if you that you don't even have money, if you vote in Peter Obi, mean that I used to see small money from this government, I will not be able to send, I will not send you money, and for that reason, all of us to be poor. So don't vote in Peter Obi. Vote in somebody that will allow money to flow, chop by chop. It's wrong. It's corruption. And that's the narrative he needs to correct, so that Nigeria will be working and functional for you and I to be able to live comfortably in. Some of these government officials like living abroad, but they come to Nigeria to stay because that's where that's where they get their monies from and send their children abroad. Why are they staying abroad if Nigeria was so lovely? Simply because Nigeria is not functional the way they want it in a sane community. That's going to wrap it up. Let's visit our comment section once again.